Player of the Year, an award that Steelers pass rusher T.J. Watt won. But, Jordan, Parsons finished ahead of Donald. And when I asked Parsons about that today, he said, "What's it matter? We both lost."
How about that one? Thank you very much, Ed, for the report. Sans Dak and the career backup in Cooper Rush, Key, has this group at 3-1. When you look at this offense, what has changed?
I think it's simplified. We don't like to say it that way. We like to say dummy down, and I think that is basically what it is. When you look at this offense, they're running the football much better. The offensive line is blocking much better, but they simplified things. He's going straight to his reads, and every now and then he gets off the first read, gets to the second, to the third. But it's also about the defense. The defense is playing lights out, Jordan. When you think about teams that have success, is score low points on an offensive standpoint, defense is always rule. I haven't seen a team that has a high-scoring, flying offense and a stellar defense that's like in the top 5 in the NFL in such a long time. That's how it's getting it done. And when Dak comes back, keep the Cooper Rush recipe. Don't change anything. Don't all of a sudden feel like because you spent a lot of money on a quarterback, you've all of a sudden got to open up the playbook.
Yeah, I think for me, it boils down to balance for them. And even though it hasn't been gaudy numbers rushing the football, it has been equivalent to what they have done in the passing game, which in turn, I think, has opened up a lot of things for Cooper Rush in play action. If you look at the number of carries against the Giants, I believe it was upwards to 30. And then last week, Zeke carried the bulk of it against the Washington Commanders at 19. But they stayed pretty balanced as an offense. And when Cooper is dropping back in these play action situations, not only is it creating space for these wide receivers, it's giving him time in the pocket. One of our biggest concerns was the Dallas Cowboys offensive line and how they would be in pass blocking. But this run game has kind of solidified itself. And I got to give Kellen Moore credit. Even when it wasn't successful against the Washington Commanders, it was still Zeke Elliott to the tune of 19 carries, MK. And they committed to doing it just enough to continue to be able to open up that play action downfield. And I think the comfort that Cooper Rush is playing with because of that is the most important thing about this offense, even though it's not explosive at all.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it has impressed me nonetheless, but I do think it's worth noting those two performances that we were talking about. Obviously, Bates, Cincinnati have come against the Commanders and the Giants, not exactly the best pass defenses in the NFL. The Rams, I think, present a more challenging test. And along those lines, Marcus, I actually think Dallas can take some cues from San Francisco. Obviously a very different type of offense, but the way they approached Aaron Donald and the Rams, I thought was really smart. Pretty much on every down, Aaron Donald was accounted for, whether they were running away from him, the blocking, obviously getting them extra blockers. And then when he was off of the field, they took advantage of that as well. That's the approach that Dallas needs to take, especially because, frankly, the rest of that Rams pass rush has not really lived up to Aaron Donald at the moment. So he is the guy you got to game plan for. The other thing I'll say is another weakness I thought that the Niners exposed was at safety with the Rams. There are shots to be taken down the field in the middle, and to your point about Dallas and play action, I think those opportunities will be there for them this weekend.
Well, Cooper Rush looking for opportunities. As everybody predicted, the second highest QBR to this point, trailing only Josh Allen. It's absolutely remarkable. Dan, what do you make of this offense?
Yeah, so Jordan, you just heard Marcus kind of reference my take, which is create some space or voids for the receivers. That's really been the foundation of what Cooper Rush has done with this offense. They put him under center, and they utilize that run for the play action. Bunch up top. All you do is that ball fake. It keeps everybody protected. The linebacker's vision. Look at this green area that you've created for CeeDee Lamb. Now he's got all this kind of creativity, green grass to go run. That's easy for the quarterback and receiver to kind of attack that void. This time they put a sixth offensive lineman at fullback. That's a run-look personnel information to the defense. A nice little ball fake. You go to the second-level linebackers looking inside. Look at the green grass void that you've again created for CeeDee Lamb. They've done a nice job of not only protecting the quarterback and cutting off the fat of the reads, but they've really kind of freed CD up to go attack those voids. And the last thing I want to touch on, Mark is talking about balance. The great thing that Dallas has done is with this play kind of belief under Cooper Rush, it's given them the balance of calling run or pass whenever they want. They don't have to get in passing situations, nor have to get in running situations. They do whatever. I agree with Key. You live in this world. You can grow this world under Dak Prescott instead of shrinking it down for Cooper Rush. But they've done a really good job, and this has to be their philosophy moving forward. Their identity can grow with Dak.
Take a look at this, guys. Noteworthy, or maybe much ado about nothing, but Todd Archer tweeted this out a little bit earlier. CeeDee Lamb did not practice because of a groin injury, but he doesn't seem overly concerned. He says he's fine.